Scatting.
Bippity bop boop.
I'm the scat man.
Jazz hands.
Jazz. All right. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to the Naughty and Days podcast. It's been eons, weeks maybe. I miss orange juice. Anyway, we have a
Orange juice, yum.
we have a special guest. We have the lovely Ayla Moon.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ayla Moon. Nice to meet you. I'm an artist and a weirdo on the internet.
They do.
Those are my qualifications.
They do totally PG related things. Yeah.
Always. Never spicy, not one time.
Yeah, never spicy. It's always say so with Ayla.
I did that ElfQuest fan art series there for a while, and I kind of felt bad for the people who were joining my Twitter during that because I knew it would be transitional.
Oh, well, anyway, welcome to the stream, Ayla.
Thank you for having me.
I was gonna have Bio join us as well, but he might be busy.
Nice.
He might be busy. He a busy snake.
Makes sense. A snake of many talents.
Yeah, a snake of many talents, aka playing Dragon Infinite Wealth. So that's
very important.
It's very important. The only scene that I like from that game that he played was when the main character tries to ask out a girl, and then the girl walks away because she was embarrassed, and she then calls him while she's a good distance away, saying, "Yeah, I'd love to go out sometime with you." And he's like a teenager in that one moment. He's all like, "She said yes." and he's and he starts dancing with the homeless people. And I'm just like,
great.
Yeah, I know. In my mind, I'm like, that's just a mood. That's just the biggest mood ever.
It is total like dance.
Yeah, he's
in
like
the middle of the street.
Yeah,
he's watching, so you can celebrate fully.
Yeah, he's doing the happy dance. I felt for him in that moment because that's just a mood. I was like, bruh, such a mood. Anyway, we can get into the topic, and then when Charlie gets in here, they can put in their 2 cents.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right. So, if you don't know, everybody, we're gonna talk about AI art today. It's gonna be fun. Totally. We're not gonna throw hands at each other at all.
Right.
I'll say this to start us off.
Go for it.
I like AI art in this one regard. If it's something funny.
Oh yeah, like the pulling up a celebrity, combining it with something else. And
Yeah.
If joke like it's a dead horse, like just
yeah.
meme running.
Yeah, exactly. If it's something funny, I'm okay with it. But if it's actually like, oh, someone's being commissioned to do this, and is using the AI art to do that, then
so we can touch on one of the reasons like that might be seen as like morally okay, or like what you're touching on there. And I think that's the idea that like without that, no one probably would have made that meme, like wouldn't have bothered. Is that kind of the thing? Like they can just like people can draw memes, right? But it's like that's a lot of work to go through for a meme. Even when I'm deciding as an artist if I'm gonna like do a joke meme as something people can buy for me, I'm picking the old, dead, tired trope ones because it's like they're usable, right? Whereas like a new meme might be come and gone. It might not persist for as long. It might not be funny for as long. And so if a meme has stayed around for a long time, it has more like reusability, I guess, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from like the art marketing standpoint, I can kind of see like those things being less of a threat to artists too in that respect. Like it's not like necessarily that art is going to challenge them for some portion of a marketplace.
Yeah, exactly. That's also like why I personally don't like AI art when people are using it to make money. At that point, I'm like, dude, if you're doing it like that, why is anyone commissioning you when they themselves can do it themselves?
Yeah, Yeah. And I think so I guess this kind of ties back to like my overarching, like, if you're going to ask me as an artist, am I against people doing that with AI? Like, absolutely. Am I against all AI art as a principle? I'm over here just being like, I don't know if it matters if I'm against it or not. It exists. So I'm not sure if getting stuck on the part of the problem of like, if I care if it exists or not is going to be that helpful. More just focusing on like how people are using it and how do we move forward in a world where we know it exists,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Like, yeah, like I can understand, like I've said before, I can understand it in like a funny aspect or something along that line. Like you do it, you like use AI art for like a meme purpose or something along that
But
line.
saying you're a starving artist, portraying yourself as one, and going out and using AI assets to sell to other people who end up finding out that they're worthless because they're AI to them and they don't want to support that, that's just scamming people,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's just
exactly.
coercion.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you're not selling what you say you're selling.
Yeah, like and like I can understand, like don't get me wrong, some AI art does look really cool and I'm like, "Oh shit, I need to work on my shading cuz like that shading in that AI art kind of looks cool and I want to get to that level." Like it's
Mm-hmm.
like an inspirational thing for me. Like I want to do this. Oh, yeah, you
Yeah,
know.
and well, and the AI is just mimicking things that it's been fed from like some of the greatest artists who use these kind of like motion blurring effects and lighting and some of these more advanced like art techniques to make their art really pop off, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what it's trying to replicate
Yeah,
is is these humans. So really what you're looking at when you see that is like something to the effect of like what it's striving to achieve, which is like a facsimile of the people's art whose it's been fed. So you're still looking at humans created stuff when you see that. It's just been remixed by this auto feature
yeah,
thing.
exactly. It's like it's like I remember in my art class in high school, so there was two different art classes. There's the traditional method, which uses the actual pen and paper and clay and all that jazz, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's the digital one, that I was in. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember because they gave us little tablets to take to use in the class, and the program they
Mm-hmm.
used for it, I could actually get on my little iPad and continue working
Mm-hmm.
on a project while I'm not there.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, it was really cool. I forgot what the project, what the not project, the
The specific
the
program
program.
you
Yeah,
used.
I forgot what it was, but I loved it. It was a good program,
Mm-hmm.
and now I use Clip Studio Paint. But anyway,
Yeah,
so I
I
remember.
love Clip Studio. That's what I use now.
Oh yeah, same here. I use that a lot.
Yeah, I ditched Adobe. I was a Photoshop kid for a long, long time. It
Oh
was
yeah.
basically the only option when I started, besides some freeware programs. So I started in like Microsoft Paint, and then I got some
Mm,
freeware drawing program. But I had been using Photoshop since probably, I want to say, like the mid 2000s or something,
mm.
like 2002 or three, because like my dad did video editing, so
Ah.
he had bought like the entire Creative Suite, and I was like, oh, please, may I just have the Photoshop portion? And he's like, yeah,
Please, please, sir, may I have some more spare pens?
please,
Spare pens.
please, please. And at that time, like buying the whole Creative Suite was pretty freaking expensive. That was
Oh
like a couple
yeah.
$1,000
Yeah, like
back then,
yeah, and
when they
like
still sold the software as like a big package you could buy, you know?
yeah, and for so like back to like the thing for me is I always hated this that I have two little pet peeves when I draw. Real quick,
Mm-hmm.
I have two little pet peeves. One is when people look over my shoulder without letting me know they're there.
Yes,
Cause one
I
I
know
get
the one.
yeah, cause one I get freaked out because I don't know they're there, and cause that happened to me one time when my teacher looked over my shoulder to see how well I was doing on my project, and
Uh huh.
I punched him in the face
Oh no.
because he scared me because I'm just chilling, you know, drawing. I look
Yeah, and
over,
you're in the zone.
yeah, I look over like because I see something on the corner of my eye, and I thought it was my friend asking for help, so I
And he's
look,
like right there.
yeah, and I punch him dead in the face. And he has a nosebleed, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. He's like, no, it's cool. I should have told you that I was there.
Yeah. Oh my god,
I
that's
felt
hilarious.
I felt so bad in that moment. I was like, oh shit.
No, I've definitely had to educate people that I think that might be like a universal artist thing, and I think that most people who have never tried to draw, since they haven't put themselves in the position to be drawing in public or something, they
Mm-hmm.
don't realize it's gonna feel that way. But I think that's pretty like common that when you're not ready to show your work, someone
Yeah.
asks you about it. Even like if they asked me about it at that moment, I become very like
Defensive.
dodgy
Oh yeah,
and
dodgy and
defensive.
defensive.
Yeah, and I'll be like, and people are being nice, and they'll just be like, "What you working on there?" or something like that. And if you're in that part of the sketch where you don't really know what's coming out yet, you're just kind of like fucking around, right?
Mm-hmm.
That it can be like it's just a lot of pressure all at once
Oh
to have
yeah,
to define
exactly.
what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. That's why when I was in those art classes, I would always be the one kid in the corner where my desk is facing towards the door, like where I can see the exit, not where my back
Mhm.
is facing it, because I don't want people behind me because I don't want to accidentally, punch them in the face because I got scared because I didn't know they were there.
Exactly.
I don't want to accidentally hurt somebody. But anyway, so and then my other pet peeve that a lot of people say to me when I used to like draw in school, I don't anymore obviously because I'm not in school, but
Yeah.
um I hated this thing that they would always say, and they would always say it in a different mannerism or in a different grammatical term, but
Mhm.
they would always say one of three things. I think you should put some clothes on that girl. I'm like, I haven't even gotten there yet. Can can you
That, yes.
can you like give me a minute? I haven't gotten to the clothes yet. I'm doing anatomy right now.
I'm doing anatomy, yeah.
I'm doing anatomy. Give me a hot minute, you bitch.
And then she never drew clothes on her stuff.
Yeah, and then I never drew
That
clothes on my stuff.
so I have an actual like I think there's that moment when I get to the part where you would draw clothes and I have like an existential crisis because I don't want to put clothes on them.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I'm like
that's
I like designing clothes sometimes, but
yeah.
also fabric can just kind of drape on the body and leave everything else exposed and that looks nice too.
I mean, yeah, that's why the things I put on my like art sometimes is very minimal. Sometimes it's just a
Yeah.
t-shirt, or sometimes it's just underwear, or sometimes it's just a bra. Mainly because
Yeah.
those are the easiest things for me to draw. I don't want to draw like something like, oh, draw like armor or something. I've done it before. I'll
I
probably
can do all of that, but I still like leaving the titties out. Like I
yeah.
still have this thing where like I could do all this detail and I'm still sad
Yeah,
that I have to cover
free the
like the
titties,
titty.
free the
Yeah.
titties, free the titties. But yeah, though, like that's one of the things they say though. They're like, oh, you should put some clothes on that girl or whatever. And another thing
Yeah, I think they say it too like just about like oh that eye's off center or like they'll say it about this little thing that you're like I might come back to that, I might not, but either way I didn't ask for your
yeah,
opinion.
who fucking
Like
asked? Like, get the hell out of here.
but the unfortunate part about that is I've also noticed that when that happens, the unfortunate thing is that a lot of times they do see something like really wrong with your anatomy or something and like
Yeah.
I do end up going and like fixing that arm that was weird to them or whatever. And I'm thankful that they gave me the feedback. At the same time, since I didn't ask for it, it's like
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're like, dude, like, I can understand, like, I can see it in this regard. Like, if you're almost done with it, that's when you can like interject and be like, "Hey, I think that eye's a little off center," or "Oh, I think that you accidentally put you accidentally drew two right hands," which has happened to me. I accidentally did draw two right
Yeah.
hands, and that's happened. Like the thing
It
for
still happens to me.
yeah,
Like
it
I
still
still go
happens.
and check my anatomy, and that's because I don't heavily rely on 3D models. Like I don't have any
Mm-hmm.
shame about using 3D models, and I do pull them out when I like want help referring especially like weird angles of like perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like perspective is very challenging skill, so like it can be helpful to just pull that body out and put it into 3D. But the reason that I don't rely on them heavily is because they didn't exist easily when I was learning to draw, and then combine that with I have a hard time posing them, getting them exactly how I want them. You
Yeah,
know, like
exactly.
if
And
I'm imagining a hand in a relaxed position, it's very hard to get one of those 3D model hands into anything remotely close to a relaxed position.
yeah.
You know, so usually for the hands, I'm still having to do some amount of that work myself, you know, even if I was going to use a 3D model.
Yeah,
So
Charlie is in the chats. Is in the chat, and he's like, "I'm eating pizza and doing adult things. I'll join in a bit."
Yay.
Yay, Charlie! Anyway, but yeah, like the things that artists struggle with the most is literally hands and feet.
Yes, and that's good reason for that. Like, I
Yep.
feel like it's really valid when you're first drawing to use the tricks available to you, whether that's
Uh-huh.
hiding the hands or feet. Like,
Like
it's
you,
cool. I'm cool with it.
yeah,
Every
like
time I see an artist who looks like they're trying and they're hiding them bitches, I'm like, you did it. That's the first. That's the first way to do that. Cool. And then the second way is like pulling up a picture of your own hand and taking a picture of it, you know, and then like from there it's like I'd rather see an artist hand that tried than an AI hand with 8 fingers.
oh yeah, but yeah,
And
like
I can tell the difference. Like, my brain can tell that you tried to draw that hand, and it's so much prettier to me than the like weird hand that I'm wondering if it's there or not. And that's, I think, the consequence of like the new, this is the new reality we live in, right? Where when you see art and then you
mm-hmm.
go, oh, it's kind of pretty, then you start looking at the hands, right? It's this new like weird thing that
Oh
happens.
yeah. You look at it and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, and 5 years ago you didn't have to do that, and now it's like this whole new thing. So how are people gonna buy art now? Like, are the people who buy art gonna care if it's AI or not? And then if they do care, how are they gonna figure it out if
that
even artists have to second look at things? You
yeah,
know?
that's the thing I noticed is that like some people do care, some people don't. It's more or less of like what they want in terms of the product and that they want, because some artists have
Mm-hmm.
their own like little guidelines of, okay, I will not draw anything in SFW or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah, and
valid.
some artists have like their own like limitations. Like for me, for example, I refuse to draw anything that involves like vor, because I feel like if I did, I would fuck it up somehow. And also it's weird.
Like, in what way fuck it up somehow? Like, make it too intense for people or, like, get in trouble? That kind of
more
shit? Or,
more or
like,
less it's a mix of both. Either I draw it too intensely in terms of like I make it too blood and gore when they never asked for blood and gore.
yeah, yeah.
Because for me, I'm a person who likes blood and gore and horror things.
Yeah. I often
And
think that with sussy things in general, it's hard to know where the other person's lines are when they're communicating to you what they want.
Blood and gore.
yeah, and that's also the thing too, is that like sometimes, I'm pretty sure you've gotten this too. Sometimes when people get a commission, one, you're ecstatic because like the artist is ecstatic. They're like, oh, someone wants my art. Holy shit.
Finally, a customer.
Yeah. And then the other thing too is sometimes when on the commissioner side, they don't give you enough detail on what they want.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah, I have had like several times of like someone saying, "Oh, I wanted this thing to be this way." I'm like, "Then tell me." Cuz like before I even start working, I always ask them exactly detail for detail what they want. So I know what to draw and I don't have to like sit there twiddling my thumbs.
Yeah, you don't have to guess about it
Yeah, I don't have to
and
guesstimate.
wonder. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like, I think that for me, I haven't been doing commissions that long. Like, I've taken various random commissions over the years, but as far as like
Mhm.
being open for accepting commissions and having somewhere where someone can go look at what I have available and that sort of thing, I really just opened in that way in January. And my experience so far has been really positive with the people who've worked for me. There've only been one or two works that I like turned down because I wasn't sure about the person or the artwork, you know? But I think you're right in terms of people don't always want to communicate things or know how to say them. And then it's nice to work from a position like some of my listings are skebs, which indicate there's not going to be communication with me, that you are giving trust to the artist to like do what you want. And they're priced accordingly, right? Like I'm giving away a little more skill because I enjoy doing this and because the client is going to let me do what I want and not come back. So I think more of that has to do with like if people haven't bought a lot of art, then they don't know how to buy art. So you as the artist become the person in the situation who has more experience with someone buying art from you than they have buying art.
And
so you kind of have to guide them.
Come with me, young grasshopper.
Well, yeah, and then other artists might want to guide them in different ways. And so I think it's kind of unfair when the artists pipe up on the Twitter or something and they're like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And it's like, well, how do you know some other artists might be fine with being asked about that? Or those kind of things.
Like in terms of like stuff like that, when I see oh, don't do this for when you do commissions or something or whatever, or here are my prices, these are the correct prices to do for commissions, I'm like,
It all depends on the level of skill and also the time.
Yep.
Yeah, and then where that person is and how they want to.
And like for me, for Mike, when I do commissions, which mine are like always open, like every time, they're always open because sometimes I forget that they're open. I'd be like, oh yeah, it's closed. Nah, mine are open.
But they're just sitting there.
They're sitting
there. It's fine.
There.
You got a reason to advertise. To
yeah.
People they're open.
It's and like the thing for my commissions is like I do have a set price line for like certain like things that I draw, like sketches or something, or full rendered piece or just color. But like I also like to do it in this regard. Like sure, my price range says that, but if you don't have the quote unquote scratch for it, then I will negotiate with you on like what you can't
like scale the price.
Yeah, I'll scale the price based on your own basic budget because I don't want to just be like, yo, $20,000 right now.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, because I don't want to like if you don't huh? Oh, you heard the little pillow and blanket over there.
Yeah, I'm trying to make things comfier for her.
Yeah. But yeah, like I like to scale prices to make sure that it's in the right budget line. But as everyone knows, and everything, I don't go too low. Like anything below 50 is a no-go for me.
Yeah, and that totally makes sense. I think that when I price things at or below $50, for me, it's at the understanding that what I'm doing there is promotional. Like I'm eating part of the cost of my time promotional, right? And I'm acknowledging that like interiorly. And then the other thing is I like doing art for people. So if they want to pay me for a meme, that's like the only stuff I have priced below $50, I think right now, is things I want to add to my portfolio and or like quick memes that don't take me that long.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, it's like I'm going to be over here working on whatever the fuck I'm working on. And the prices I'm at currently allow people who want to buy my art to potentially interrupt me if when I read their thing, it seems like a good fit for me, right? And that's kind of how I look at my time. Like my time's valuable, and it's more valuable than I can think to charge right now for it in the market based on the demand for my art that I'm seeing. Like I don't have a huge audience, right?
Yeah. And neither do I in terms of like an audience for art. And sometimes when I do post stuff, I do like seeing the little like comments on it being like, oh yo, this looks sick.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's nice to have like I don't want to do art for someone who doesn't like the art.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like so if they're coming to me and they like my art already and they're down, then that says to me there shouldn't be that much trouble in the like getting the art done, you didn't want it this way, you didn't want it that way process. We should be able to get through that part as long as I can find the ways to like ask the questions of what people mean, like come together on what you're looking for and what I need to do to get us there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of that just goes back to the communication between like client and you, like to figure that out. And
Yeah. And like another thing too is like if you want to commission somebody, don't be afraid to like just ask if like their commissions are open or whatever. Just ask them. I'm pretty sure they'll be more than happy to like do some art because
Yeah.
it's a medium that they love to do.
Well,
And
yeah, and I think for a lot of artists, they are looking for that, like, hey, you like what I do, because people just do so many different kinds of art.
yeah,
Right?
exactly.
So
Like yeah, some people there's like different forms of art. There's photography, videography, digital, non-digital, you name it. There's a bunch.
I did video.
yeah, and then within the anime styles, it seems like people are very fixed to like having an art style, and that has to be your art style. And if you step outside of that style, we didn't know you could do art like that. And it's like, did you know most artists have flexed their skills around in a couple different areas? Like, I don't do realism. I'll turn down a realism request hotter and faster than you can say banana. You know, like I
Yeah.
don't do realism.
I don't do
However,
realism
comma,
either.
if you wanted to instigate a background out of me, I find them challenging, and I don't consider myself a background expert, but I think I can make a pretty one. You know, it's
Yeah.
like that, where it's like I'm not ready to put it up as a listing of something you can buy from me, but as far as like being instigated for money, if you like what I do, you know. But
You
that's
like
the
what
thing
you
is,
see.
yeah, but that's the thing is if you don't have examples up for people to look at, they're not creative types, so maybe they just don't know if you would be comfortable or whatever. So the more you put out in terms of like advertising yourself, I think the better.
Yeah, I
I
think
do a
that's
terrible job at advertising myself.
yeah,
I can
that's
talk a lot better about advertising than I actually do.
yeah, and that's the thing about like advertising for like peeps that just, you know, are starting out as an artist. Advertising is the most difficult thing even for the pros.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's an entirely different skill set than being an artist.
yeah,
Right?
like
It has nothing to do with it.
yeah, like sure you can like the first time I did a commission for somebody, this was like years ago. They're like I showed them like a in progress like a sketch of what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "How much do you want for it?" And in my mind and out loud, I'm like, any amount."
10 million.
Any amount, please. I need food."
Starving artist means actually starving. I don't know if some of you got the memo, but
I don't know if some of you got the memo. By the way, Charlie's here. Hello, Charlie.
What's up?
Charlie.
Long time no
I
see.
can scoot.
Yeah, you giant woman, you.
Yeah. I'll
No,
try.
not you.
Another giant woman.
Yeah, giant lady.
Take up too much room.
There's so many giant ladies.
I'm so large.
Lorgen and George.
Large and in George.
That's me, Morgan.
My name is Lorge, last name George. Anyway, would you like to give your 2 cents, Charlie, on AI art?
Blasphemy. Garbage.
It usually isn't good. It's usually coming from a bad place, and
Mhm.
people shouldn't sell it.
That.
Yes,
That's
that
the most
is
important thing.
that's the that's the most important thing. You are correct.
That's the thing.
You heard what I said about AI art, right, Charlie?
No.
Okay, so basically what I said about AI art is I like it in the form of memes. And like if
Fair.
if you make like if you go and do AI art in like a funny manner, I like it because it's funny. Because the
It's
amount
like
of
something someone wouldn't have taken the time to draw, and they're not gonna sell.
yeah, exactly. And that's what I love about those AI art ads that I see on YouTube sometimes is like there was this one that just had a bunch of sports mascots dressed as a pretty pink princess, and it was funny. It was the funniest thing I've ever fucking seen.
My
There.
favorite thing is when AI tries to spell.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, like that stuff in the Willy Wonka thing where.
But yeah, though, and like sure, like AI art is good in the terms of like some making something funny, but in terms of like selling it as a product, one just straight up fuck you in that
Just
term.
yeah, stealing labor from actual humans. That's
Yeah.
the not down at all. And I think it's one of those things where it's hard because as the market has shifted and it exists, you need people who buy art to care. Like
Mm-hmm.
artists care, but how do
Yeah.
we get people who buy the art to care? And I don't know the answer to that. I just know that like as an artist, AI existing makes me want to show people that I'm a human more so that they can connect to my art more. Like
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I put myself out there in other ways so that if they do stumble on my art and like it, they can at least go, "Oh, that's a real person."
That's a real
Yeah.
person. By the way, hi
Yeah.
Zach.
Yeah.
We're talking about AI art today for the podcast.
Garbage unless it's meant to be for comedic purposes.
Unless it's Fumby.
So, my honest opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really sad and it kind of sucks, but the only ethical usage of AI art is from large corporations that like can make a data set out of their own stuff that they already own.
Yeah.
And it's fucked
like
up.
in the case of Adobe having bought and licensed all its stuff and
Exactly.
having its repertoire of tools or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying that's the only ethical use of it.
Yeah,
I
because
wouldn't
it's
I
devoid of
wouldn't even say
coercion.
that's an ethical use. I'd just say that's a legal use. I'd just say
Correct.
that should be legal, but I don't think it's ethical.
Yeah.
Because
It
I don't
lacks the
think
same moral
corporations
issue.
owning artistic medium is ethical anyway. I think if you create an artistic medium, even for a company, it should still be partly your identity, like your IP.
Well, I think there's an argument to be made for all the artists who sold their creative work to Adobe before it decided to change that to be the case for the stuff they
Yeah.
bought, right?
Yeah.
Like we didn't exist in a world that AR art existed in for the 30 years that people have been selling their works to Adobe. So for them to go take it and then change their terms of service on all that property that they acquired in the past. I mean, technically, they wrote it into their terms of service, so they probably could change something like that, or we would be hearing more about it. But
I feel like you would have to like accept the updated terms of service or something.
I feel like it warrants a revised agreement. Like as an artist, if I had sold my stuff to Adobe and they had decided to just put it in there, I would feel like that was enough of a change from the original terms of sale that I should be given another chance to say yes or no.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. But I'm not a lawyer, but like that's where
Zach
the
is.
murky ground.
Yeah.
Zach's a lawyer.
That's where the murky moral.
Unfortunately, oftentimes in terms of service and sale, they will have a disclosure that at any time without notification that they can change the terms, as long as those terms don't impact your ability to make or continue to make any future product.
And since they had already given up license to use it, it's probably falling under that first one where it doesn't qualify for them, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Like if you sell if you sell a product to someone, you still have a say in how that product's used. But if you sell your IP to someone, then you don't own it anymore.
Yeah, I wonder how that applies to like the photo assets and stuff.
Yo, Charlie.
Usually, when Adobe buys things, they buy it in its entirety. So they buy the image,
and the IP
rights to use it, and the IP for it. Yeah.
Yo, Charlie, do you want to sell your IP to me?
182.091.
But yeah, though, and like, I'm pretty sure, Zach, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this. Everyone else has, but what I said about AI art was that I like it in the terms of if it's used for something in a comedic value. Like saying making sports teams wear dresses and whatnot to be funny.
I think
in
that context, I mean, as long as the AI art in question is being used in a way that's not commercial, I don't think there's anything you can really say about it anyway. Because like you could just take an artist's art and then change it and post it online, and they can't really say anything because you're not commercializing it, so you're not breaking any rules.
Yeah, exactly.
So in that way, then yeah, but
in terms of selling, no.
It's when people use AI art, and even in the sense of like using it in a funny way, but they're still clearly monetizing the content that they're generating out of that I still think that's ethically wrong.
Yeah, what I mean is like non-monetization of like.
Yeah, if you're just gonna like look at this funny thing I made with AI and you post it on your Twitter feed, then yeah, whatever.
Yeah, then yeah, it's harmless as long as you're not selling it. Then that's okay because like one, us artists, aka just the three of us and not Zach. Zach doesn't. Zach's not an artist. He's an.
The law can't be an art.
He's an. I was gonna make a joke and be like, he's an artist in the law.
In the law.
Yeah.
In the law, but in terms of art, like, if you, it's like that's how it feels when someone's monetizing AI art to like make a profit. Feels as if they are technically they're not putting in the effort as regular artists would, because like
just stealing.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
just a different form of stealing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the people who are buying it are under the impression that they're buying something that took that long to make, so they're paying commiserate with something that took that long to make and has a human behind it.
Like, yeah, exactly.
When I go buy stuff off Etsy from like shops that like go out of their way to like handcraft things that are better than what you can buy on Amazon for that same product, I'm looking to buy it from a person who is an artisan, and that's part of what I'm getting out of like that extra tie to it.
Yeah, so, when they're an artisan bread.
You know what's really scary? Speaking of Etsy, is a lot of people don't think about this angle of AI, but automated printing exists. So now the AI is generating basically products that you can find on places like Etsy, making them look handmade, and then printing them, and then basically making 3D prints of objects that look handmade and pretend that they're handmade, and then sell them.
Weird.
So not only is art being stolen, but literally people's like 3D objects in real life are being stolen by AI.
Wow.
Exactly. That's why, like, in terms of those AI apps and whatnot, I would love it if they worked in this manner. That like if you sold that thing of like an AI art or something, or you die in the game, you die in real life. No, what I was gonna say is like if they do try and like sell that product, whatever it is, either a 3D printed thing or something that looks to be drawn, I wish it would be like this, that like to make people that do it make them not want to do it anymore, that like the manufacturer of the AI art application that they're using just takes 90% of the profit of what they're selling, while the person that did that prompt only takes 10%.
Yeah. You know what's even that, I mean, yeah. But you know what's even crazier? Some AI art generating software has now gotten good at doing text. And the way that's being abused is that they're now able to create watermarks on the AI generated art that look like they were handwritten.
Oh boy.
Oh yay.
So now it becomes even more difficult. Because if you see an AI generated piece of art, you can be like, well, there's no watermark on this, so that's weird.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, well, there's watermark on that. So surely it can't be AI.
Their work in progress for that reason. Like they don't want to post their time lapses or their sketches, because then it's going to teach it how to do that stuff better too.
Yeah.
It's like, that sucks.
That's why
that's how people learn. And so like watching other people's process, you know.
That's also a thing I never really liked when I would draw, is when people want to see my process in drawing, because then I panic and I'm like, how do I draw? I panic too much.
I don't tend to go live on Twitch without at least like my sketch ready to line art. Like
yeah,
that's
same
where
here.
I get comfortable. Yeah, because I'm like I'm too rough in my foundational sketching.
No, you're just rough in general.
I don't even know what I'm doing sometimes. It's so like.
No, you're just rough in general. You're rough in art, on the bed, everywhere.
Squeaky clean, super say so.
Yeah, super say so, yeah. As if this podcast is not called Naughty and Dazed. Anyway. But yeah, though, in terms of like, I'm gonna move the green gremlin down more because it looks funny. In terms,
supposed to be small.
He's small. He's small. Anyway, I don't. That's the thing I always hated in terms of like the AI stuff is because like Twitter is the #1 thing that sucks about AI stuff because you always get those random like AI messages like, "Hey, I'm doing art" or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like the bots in your DMs and stuff.
Bob and vagina in bio.
Yeah.
Thank you, bot.
Thank you, bot. Thank you. The one that I hate the most that I always keep getting almost every day is about someone's fucking profile or something going live or something. It's basically
their auto live post.
No, not an auto live post. I meant like their check it out. I made a Twitter account. Check it out. That kind of thing. Like here, let me see if I could find it. But like I don't like it in that regard because like I get annoyed because they don't they tag me in it is what I'm saying. They tag me and they I do too. That's why whenever I see it, I just immediately block it.
But, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But like the amount of times that they've either A, tagged me in it, or B, they tagged me and a couple of peeps that I know. I'm pretty sure everyone that like sees it, they're just like, okay, just fuck off. Just get out of here.
I'm super shadow banned on the Twitter right now.
Oh yeah,
I abandon it for a week or something.
I found it. I found it. I found one of them at least.
A lot of bots I've been getting in my Twitter lately are just random Japanese accounts just saying things at me. Then I see like a number.
I rather
probably
that.
Trying to sell me something.
I rather prefer that because that sounds way more funny.
I do not use Twitter, so I don't experience any of these problems.
That is the safest mentality.
That
I
is
don't use any social media. I don't touch social media.
He doesn't like people.
Real.
He doesn't like people. Like, do you want to know
how? Social media is full of the two things I hate: bots and people.
All right, there you go. I sent all of you the thing that I got, that of like the AI thing saying something to me or tagging me in something. That's what I'm talking about. It's either something along that line or something saying weird. Like it is weird. I'm like, okay, can you just leave me the fuck alone? No one asked you.
Excuse me, leave me alone, please. Thank you.
It's like there's a whole other game going on
or
that the AIs are playing with each other or something.
Yeah, or something.
One of my favorite things is when I see two bots like get into a feedback loop with each other where they're just like trying to bot each other. That's beautiful.
Oh yeah, classic dead internet theory.
At this point, honestly, I'm gonna say that the dead internet theory has been proven enough.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure 90% of the internet at this point is just bots.
Yeah, there's just so much activity. It's like the sheer amount of activity that they put off.
Insane.
I love this too. Of what I've noticed on Twitch a lot is for people that are just starting out to stream on here. I remember seeing a little a meme of it where this guy was talking to his chat, telling them not to spam, even though he was the one that was spamming in his own chat. And he was like, "Guys, don't spam, please." And he was talking to himself, and I'm like, "Dude, that's too real. That's too real. It's too real. You can't do this to me. Why you gotta do it to me like that?" because I will literally fully admit that when I started, before I even met you, Charlie, that when I started doing streaming, because there is an account that I have that is an old one that is buried beneath everything else and is very inactive. You could try and find it if you want, but good luck, because I don't remember the name of it. The name of the account, I mean. But I will fully admit making fake accounts and following myself. Because I'm all like just doing that because why not? And plus, I just started out, so yeah.
It's totally a thing people do.
Game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally a thing people do. I don't think there's any shame in that. I don't know that I've ever done it, but it's like it almost feels sometimes like I'm sitting out here being the only one not doing that sort of thing, you know, sometimes like I don't hate anyone for playing the game out here in the various ways, like even if I choose not to do some portion of it cuz it's like I don't know how to get seen.
I do withhold the right to hate anyone who's playing the game out here, and I will. I will hate you all.
I will hate you all.
Well, that's where I reserve the judgment for my own actions. Like, I'm not gonna do some of the behaviors I see. Like, I would look down on myself for doing them. I'm just gonna divorce myself from looking down on others in a certain way because I don't know.
It's fine. If I don't do it, but someone else does it, then that's not okay.
You feel left out, is what you're saying.
I love it.
Yeah.
I want to do it too.
It just depends. I'm usually like, I think with the clickbaity stuff, it's like at this point we all know that the algorithms only feed clickbait and rage bait and that sort of thing. So if you don't tailor your post to look like that, they won't get any attention.
Yeah, they tailor it to rage bait, chatter bait.
I think they block anything sexy time. I don't know.
Oh, well, I mean that.
Sus.
I mean,
I'm barely sus.
I mean,
they flag my content all the time. I posted myself in you know how I have the green screen outfits.
Yeah.
I had taken a picture that included my green screen feet, like in toe socks. So toe socks. And then, so it was like completely no nude feet, like not bare feet. I was completely covered. So it was feet on main, right? And I've seen so many feet come across my feed and not be sensitive content. But I posted feet that were green screened out into like space galaxy colors, and that got flagged by the algorithm.
I know, that's so stupid. That I don't
understand.
I got one thing that I drew a good while ago that was flagged for sensitive content, and you want to know what it is?
What?
A straw. It was just a straw. I was just drawing.
A straw on a piece of paper.
Yeah. I was practicing still life, and I was drawing a bunch of different still lifes, like straws, apples, whatever. And I drew a straw, like it was a sequence of things. The only thing that got like sensitive content on it was the straw. The apples didn't. The fucking stool I drew didn't. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck are you doing?
I mean, you know, if you squint and tilt your head to the side, and you're also legally blind and stood 10 miles away, it might look like a penis.
The sweater trend that everyone was doing.
Oh, the Virgin Killer trend?
The Virgin Killer sweater. I posted that. Mine got flagged. And I was seeing like 20 million of them on my feed, but mine, it's not. It was too lewd.
There was one time one of my art pieces got sensitive content warning on it, and the only thing that showed was just my face, nothing else. It was nothing, like it was headshot cropped because I wanted to.
So I swear to God, at that point, it makes me think it's just a percentage of skin tone showing thing.
Probably.
Like it has.
Well, like it was weird. It was weird though, because like the cropped, you can see my T-shirt, and that's it. Which didn't make sense to me. It was like it was a headshot crop.
On your chest. There's a chest under there. That's load banned.
I mean, we're talking about we're in a day and age that you can get banned for almost anything. Which is sad, but true. You will get banned in any community you're in.
If I got banned from a social media, that'd be an honor.
That would be an honor. Yeah, I want to see that, Zach. I want you to make a Twitter account and see how fast you can get banned.
I mean, I would say something like I'd just make a Twitter account and then like post like Nazi propaganda images, but probably on Twitter I'd probably get boosted. So
Yeah.
Oh my
Honestly.
god, you probably would.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know what to do. What, like, say that killing innocent civilians is wrong? Would that get me banned? I don't know.
I don't know,
Oh,
bro. I don't know.
It'll definitely get you algorithmically suppressed.
No,
Mm.
I think we should not kill people.
That will
Yeah,
also get you
algorithmically suppressed.
Yeah.
You get banned
You
on
say
Twitter.
anything
Oh,
positive.
actually,
or
I know how
woke.
to get banned on Twitter. Just change my profile picture a bunch of times.
That. Yeah.
Yeah,
that would do
true.
it too.
Yep. I
Change your
would.
name while you're at it. You'll
I
go
know
into
someone who
several
actually did
lockdowns.
get suspended for changing their profile picture a bunch of times,
Or your name.
which is epic. I love that. I love
Well,
having
yeah,
a
don't you
feature
know
on the
that's
site
what
that I
bots
can't
do,
use.
apparently.
Yeah. I mean, the crazy thing is you can only change your picture like every 7 days or whatever on Twitter now to like try and prevent bots from changing it so rapidly. So they were changing their picture every 7 days, and they still got temporarily banned for doing that. What's the point in having a feature that's meant to be like, oh yeah, this proves that you're human because you're only doing it every 7 days, but then it goes, you're doing it every 7 days? You must be a bot, get banned.
Oh my
What?
god.
That's the thing about it is like everyone like in terms of like making sure that bots aren't there, they're gonna be there anyway because
And now they just have a blue check mark next
Yeah,
to
the
their name.
crazy thing is
That.
the amount of bots on Twitter actually hasn't changed. It's just that the bot management on Twitter before was actually okay, and now it's horrendous.
Yeah, it's really bad.
it really is.
Because Elon Musk doesn't actually know how to run a website, and he fired like 50% of all of his staff. So,
And the people left probably don't care. They're just there for the paycheck.
well, I mean,
I would
obviously
be.
the people he
Yeah.
well the 50% of all of his staff that he fired were from like the development and business side of Twitter. So the only people that remained are the people like who are the techies. They're just there to host the website. They're not there to actually manage the website. Because he was like, I don't need all these people managing Twitter. I'll just manage it.
Okay, well that's just on him. He's an idiot. I
Yeah,
think
that's
we all
really
know
cool.
that.
Yeah.
And like
Actual fact.
factual evidence. Watch, I as soon as I say that, I immediately get banned on Twitter.
Actual evidence.
The Cybertruck.
Your Honor, you weren't even there, so shut up.
It's so funny. The Cybertruck's actually so funny that Elon Musk
really
is having
is.
a tantrum that it still hasn't been allowed in the EU.
Yeah.
Oh my
Because
god.
it's failed so many safety tests. They're like, no.
I was gonna say it's not safe.
You know the hood has like an automatic thing, so you can open and close it with your phone.
Yeah, and you can
that's
slice
really
carrots.
cool. You can not only slice carrots, but someone has already lost a finger to it. So
I knew it. I knew it.
because it uses a pneumatic hydraulic system,
Like a
for it,
hydraulic.
which is insane.
Yeah.
The car's just over-engineered to the teeth.
You
And
could
then also
totally just bang against the corner and hurt yourself. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole thing is just jagged edges as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
You'll lose a titty by hitting one of the corners.
It's also a truck that can't go off road because it's so heavy that it just sinks.
Oh, and it's only like as high as like an SUV, right? Like
Yeah, it has like no clearance off the ground hardly at all.
I can just imagine hearing the metal scraping sounds.
It's
it's probably just plastic everywhere. You can't see the metal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. You got me there.
I'm the outside's metal, but I wonder about the chassis.
Yeah.
I also love it too, real quick, since we're on the topic of Elon Musk. I love this really quick. That like we all know that he changed the name of Twitter, right? Yeah, I love how he changed the name of Twitter, but yet nobody is calling it X. Everyone's still calling it Twitter because
the reason he renamed it to X is because he owned the domain x.com, which was previously meant to be like an email service that he was gonna start, and it was gonna be like a social media thing, and it didn't take off. So he just really wanted to reuse that domain because he's been paying for it for like since 2016.
Well, in my opinion,
That's so stupid.
the X domain just makes it sound like it's a porn site.
Yeah, that's the main joke in it.
I mean, and the other thing too is when it comes to Twitter, it's kind of fitting that it's the X domain. It's kind of fitting. But yeah,
But now they're like suppressing that a lot because they think it's bots because they're letting the bots run wild instead of actually dealing with the bot problem on the back end.
Yeah, pretty much.
One cool thing, I opened Tumblr for the first time in like a decade yesterday. I closed it within minutes.
I had been on there like a year ago and got off because it was not.
I opened the first page and I was scrolling, and it was all like just normal stuff that you'd see on like a front page of any social media site. But after a few minutes, it literally just immediately dumped me into like porn fetish area of Tumblr.
Nice,
like,
nice.
How did I get here? What? Huh?
I was just looking.
Just a post ago was like about like Israel. It was like a post about the Middle East, and how am I in trans TF kink Tumblr? There's like an image of a dude becoming a woman and then like coming. It's like what's going on?
I don't know. That's also my favorite.
Really weird.
That's also my favorite thing about like advertisements and stuff.
Like normal porn bots or whatever. It was like really specific niche stuff.
Yeah, that's what my favorite thing is about like the algorithm and what it thinks you want, because I remember, I think I've mentioned this to Charlie, but I remember being on YouTube, and you know those random ads and whatnot, unless you use ad blocker or pay for premium.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The thing is I know I could pay for premium or just use an ad blocker, but where's the fun in that? Because sometimes there's funny ads that genuinely make me laugh on YouTube. And one of my favorites is this one. So I'll paint a picture for you. I was watching one of those funny meme compilation things. And then obviously, you know, YouTube puts an ad at random intervals. So it's I'm like laughing my ass off, and then an ad pops up. I'm like, oh yay. And then first sentence is, "Are you tired of getting a blowjob on your birthday?"
What?
And, right? Wow. And then it goes, "Are you tired of getting a blowjob on your birthday? Wow. Then you need the new Fleshy 2.0." And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck did I just stumble into? Because I know there's like a skip button, but now I'm invested into seeing where this advertisement goes, because there's actually yeah, and plus there's paid actors in it. So I want to like, if I ever somehow meet these paid actors in this ad, I'm just gonna pull it up to them and they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, I forgot I was in that."
Things we do for money.
The things I do for money.
I used to not block ads on YouTube because I was like, I'm going to be ethical, and I think I won't block ads because the people I watch on YouTube, I want them to get paid. And then YouTube decided to serve me 2 unskippable 2-minute ads in a row, and I was like, okay, maybe I am using an ad blocker on this website. Actually. Thank you very much.
Yeah, for me, I can understand, like, the ads are there to help, like, you know, get revenue in and whatnot.
I think if you're doing that, you just replace it with a like, subscribe, and a comment, and you'll do the same thing for their algo. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I don't use ad blocker or pay for the YouTube Premium to not have any ads, is because there's always so many funny ads that are out there. And some of them are even creepy, because there's one that I saw that was for a stuffed toy, and it was so funny but also creepy, because like, it's not even telling me about this product, it's just singing a song about the fucking stuffed animal.
Yo, I miss commercial jingles. When are we getting commercial jingles back?
Right. When are we gonna get that back?
Needs to be a commercial.
Yeah, a commercial jingle. Yeah, there needs to be a jingle.
Everything needs a jingle.
You know what, Charlie? We're gonna get a jingle for this podcast.
I'll work on it right away.
Bet. And it's just like, it's just random, like, wubs from a dubstep thing that you found.
Could be.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. You just make it like I can see it now. I already know. It's gonna be funny.
I was thinking about making my channel trailer intro a ripoff of the Veggie Tales theme.
Oh yes, please.
Glowworm.
Please. Yes, that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect.
Can you imagine like medical advertisements in America that have the jingle? That'd be sick.
Actually, there is.
Some of them used to.
Yeah, like, they used to.
I have like.
And
crazy shit that you see now though, where they're like, this pill will literally cure every single disease that exists.
But you might sleepwalk and hurt someone.
But they've got a jingle though.
They got a fucking jingle. I gotta get it. I have to get it now. There's a jingle.
I need to ask my doctor right now.
I need to ask my doctor right now if this penis enlargement pill is right for me.
It will work for me.
And if he says no, I'll just show him the advertisement for it because it got some fucking jingle to it.
It's a bop. I need this kind of energy in my life.
I need this energy in my life.
I feel like the ones that have the jingles are like the bladder control ones.
Oh, yeah? I also love those awkward ones about, like, either HIV or genital herpes. Those ones.
Oh, yeah.
I love how awkward it is.
It's way too romantic for the subject matter.
But my favorite version of those ads is there's a show called Supernatural, and they poked fun at that kind of shit.
Nice.
They had it to. If you don't know anything about Supernatural, it's just.
I've watched some of it.
Okay, then you might know. But for those who don't know, it's a show about these two brothers, Sam and Dean, who fight paranormal entities. You know, Wendigos, ghosts, fucking, you name it. Any paranormal entity. Yeah, spookamagookums.
Angels, demons.
Yeah, spookamagookums, alright? They fight
it's like
those.
X-Files, but more paranormally.
Yeah, it's like that. There's an
less aliens, more paranormal.
There's an episode that they got sucked into the TV by a paranormal entity, and they were in a bunch of like commercials, and the only way they had to get out was playing their role. So it got to this one.
I like it.
It got
Very
to this.
Meta.
Yeah, I got to this one ad about genital herpes, and it's Sam and Dean playing basketball, and the camera zooms in on Sam, and he's like, "Do I really got to say this?" And his brother comes in, he goes, "Well, you're the one who said we got to get out of here by playing our role, so get to it." And awkwardly, Sam's just like, "I'm Sam, and I have genital herpes." I have to show you the clip. It's way funnier if you see it, but that's why I like TV shows that poke fun at it. It's so funny.
One of my favorite things about... Has any of you ever played Outer Worlds?
Yes.
One of my favorite things from that game is literally just the jingles from like the corporations.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The Space's Choice jingles are fantastic.
It's like whoever wrote those, you are the man.
I need
with
them.
You extra mile.
I need them.
The ads. Like the jingle that it's not the best choice, it's Space's Choice is a banger.
I also love this really quick about this podcast episode, how we were talking about AI art for a good couple of minutes, and then now we're talking about jingles and commercials. This is great.
And AI
nostalgia took over.
Nostalgia. There's so many nostalgia commercials that I remember, like the Zoo Books and like fucking and there's so many, the Cheetah Pet things.
Cheetah.
I remember, yeah, the cheetah. I remember seeing that. Yeah, I remember seeing those like everywhere. Whenever I would watch, like, let's say Dragon Ball Z on Nicktoons.
You water it, it grows.
Yep.
Me when I describe how a plant works.
Yes. Spread the seeds. Add water. Place it in sunlight.
I'll spread. I'll spread.
Pet, you're selling me a garden plant, aren't you? No.
I'm selling you sprouts with extra steps.
I'll spread my seed. All right. But yeah, there's so many. I'm pretty sure anyone who's watching, they will, as soon as we talked about commercials, they're like, "Oh, I remember this one commercial when I was a kid." Because like the only commercial everyone remembers is when they're a kid. They remember those
it's really
commercials.
Fucked up or really funny.
Yeah.
Commercials used to be good.
Yeah, commercials used to be good. What happened?
I don't even know what company slogans are anymore because they all suck.
Yeah, and their brands all got changed to look like the same thing a few years ago.
Once again, Outer Worlds, their company slogans are sick. They need whoever wrote those from that game to actually write slogans for real companies.
I mean, that's why it's like, in terms of like corporations changing stuff. I don't know if you guys know, but I work at McDonald's.
Fun.
And they're going full-fledged anime right now. Like literally the shirt that I wear to work is just the McDonald's logo but upside down because it's McDonald's to go with anime. And no joke, if you go to their website, they have a full-fledged manga and anime series. They went all out. They went all out. They went all out. And the bags even have a manga panel on it now. And I'm just like, can you guys calm down?
They're very, how do you do, fellow kid?
McDonald's slogan, I'm loving it, literally sucks so bad.
It really does.
It really does.
I'd fucking hope so, because otherwise why would I be here?
Reasons beyond our comprehension.
Should be something that you think someone's gonna say when they eat your food.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like it started as a one-off thing, and they just kept on.
That's why I love Meat Canyon's interpretation on the McDonald's stuff.
Oh yeah.
I love Meat Canyon. Such a good animator.
But like, yeah, from like Outer Worlds, like the Spacer's Choice slogan is "You've tried the best, now try the rest."
Yo, that's so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
God.
And like Betty's punch, I think is "You want punch, we'll give you a punch." Betty's punch.
Oh, yo, sick. We need whoever made that slogan.
Why aren't real companies using slogans that are this good?
I think I know the reason. I think I know the reason why they can't use a catchy slogan, because if it's something like Betty's punch, will give you a punch or something like that.
That sounds sick.
It does sound sick, but you got to think of this too. Some mothers will somehow manage to complain about it.
Good.
Yes.
Every mother that complains about it, I'll buy another one.
Mm-hmm.
It is always somebody's mom complaining too.
Yeah, like literally, I had a mom customer complain about me, and you want to know what they complained about me today?
Huh?
You looked really cool.
No, they said that I this is so stupid. She said that my hair is too long and is influencing her kids to make their hair longer, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? It is. It's the stupidest thing in the universe. Cause I'm just like
dumpster fire take.
It really is. Cause I'm just like, what?
Excuse me. I've trained my children to be easily susceptible to following the things that adults do. So you having this hair is making them also do it. So.
It's so stupid. It was so stupid.
I don't know how to turn my children into individuals. They only know how to be clones of other people.
They are kind of right, though. Like, I remember I must have been, like, 7 or 8 when I saw my first goth girl, and I've been done ever since, you know?
Well, in all honesty, you gotta admit they're kind of cool.
Yeah, so, like, I get what they're mad at, but it's like, haha.
And that's the thing I hate about, like, parents, because, like, another customer complained that, like, somebody in the back cussed, and you want to know the reason why they cussed?
They cut themselves?
No, it's because some fucking burning oil hit their arm.
That was close.
How?
Yes. It was an injury. Like, you know when you get, like, you accidentally hit your knee or your elbow, and you're like, fuck! You know?
Outcry.
Yeah, that's all he did. He wasn't cussing anybody out. Plus, he was working the fucking fryer. Of course he's gonna yell out in pain like that.
Yeah.
And this
guy's... In a job I worked, they complained that I wasn't smiling enough, and I said it's not in my fucking contract.
somebody actually used that today, Zach. Somebody used that today.
It doesn't say in my contract that I have to smile, so fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. I
You
love.
don't pay me to smile.
You don't pay me to smile. You pay me to give
customer. A customer service job. I literally wasn't in a customer service job.
Yeah, that's what I think. If you're in customer service, you're paid to smile, and if not, no. And like, even if you're just phone customer service and they don't have to see your face, it doesn't matter what's on your face.
I can hear you're not smiling.
You want to know how I got these scars?
Yeah, but I can smile service. And I can be smiling really big and talking with that smile while I'm like flipping you off at the phone, you know?
You want to know how I got these scars? I worked in customer service. Oh my god.
The food and beverage industry. That's
there was
the emotional scars I carry.
This was a job that I did before. I used to be a loss prevention for a clothing store that I worked at. And my boss legit said this to me. I was wearing some hella emo boots, aka my enemy stompers. And I was wearing those, and okay, so we have 3 managers, 2 of which I'm friends with. The one that is getting angry at me, I'm not friends with, because that woman's a cunt. She legit wanted me to, yeah, she legit wants me, she wanted me to go home and use a different pair of shoes. And you want to know why? She legit said that my boots are not in season.
What?
Right? She legit said my boots are not in season, therefore you have to go home and change your fucking shoes right now.
Why don't you go uptown where she fucking belongs?
I
want the list of footwear and when it's in season given to me before I take on a job.
And the thing is she tried to like play it off as if I was going against like the what is it? The attire. The dress code.
You have to be looking fly, and you aren't fly right now, okay?
She like even pulls
out of season.
She even pulls out like the employee little handbook thingy that like has the employee appropriate attire, and nowhere did it said it need to be in season for anything that I'm wearing. And and like she like tried to play it off like the boots that I wore were against the dress code. No, they were not. I read it top to bottom. It said nothing about my boots being against the dress code. And so when she wouldn't let up about it, I pretended to go home. So I literally left for like an hour. And you want to know where I went?
McDonald's.
No, I went to the bookstore next door and read a bunch of manga.
Nice.
And then I walked back and I said, sorry, the only other shoes that I have are just more enemy stompers. And then she goes, well, you need to go home and change them or you're fired. And then I'm just like, yeah, no, go fuck yourself. And then she legit wrote me up for it. And then when my actual boss, who's higher up than her, saw the write-up, my actual boss just looks at it and just looks at her and then looks at me and goes, are you fucking serious, Cynthia? He wrote them up just for their boots not being in season.
This guy's like, I just want to keep employees.
And he really was. He was like, I want to keep this employee. They're really chill. I don't want to lose them.
Are they doing their job?
If I wasn't doing my job, that'd be a different. That would be a different story. But my boots not being in season, yeah, fuck you.
If I ever own a company, I'm gonna fire someone for their boots not being in season.
I would love to see that.
Run like the Devil Wears Prada office.
Your boots aren't fucking in season. Get out of my office. Collect your things. You're fired.
Collect your things. Get the fuck out of here.
Like I don't even give them a warning. They're just instantly fired
Close.
if their boots are out of season.
Everyone
in my office has to be wearing boots, and they have to be in season.
That's so stupid. And like what's funny is that like after that little exchange, she was transferred to a different position, and her now current managerial position is phone customer service manager. Yeah, so now I don't have to. No one has to deal with her anymore.
Except
yeah,
for
exactly.
the people who call on the phone.
She just yells at them like your boots are
on the phone. I can hear that your boots aren't in season. Right? You better fucking change those.
It's like that Jake from State Farm ad. She sounds hideous. She's a guy, so. Oh my god, that like I've had so many stupid write-ups.
One of my favorite things I've ever heard was a friend of mine, and he came home, right? He came home. We were on call, and he just got home from his job at like a local like fast food chain. And he was like, he's talking about this customer that was like really annoying, classic like whatever you want to say, like Karen or whatever. And he was like, why are these bitches that always come up and complain ugly motherfuckers? Why doesn't this hot woman come up and berate me? At least then
and
that
yell
would be slightly enjoyable.
Just a little bit.
Ugly fucking soccer moms who I don't want to talk to.
Oh my god, that's actually very true. It's always like a soccer mom looking motherfucker that always wants to complain. Like the amount of complaints I've gotten about our fast food drive-through, because there's like two of them. There's like two little speakers so we can take two separate orders. These soccer mom motherfuckers are always so impatient because if there's one person in the back, because usually we're supposed to have like two people on the headset taking orders and one person cashing out. And these people are just so impatient if there's one person back there and they can't take two lanes by themselves. Yeah, and
or if you're having to switch between them.
Yeah, they're so impatient that whenever sometimes they even come inside saying, "Oh, I think your drive-through speaker's broken." No, it's not. There's just one person back there, and they can't work two separate lanes.
Just gonna have to wait for them to say hello to you.
Yeah, and like the every time a soccer mom looking motherfucker comes in and complains about that, you want to know what they order?
What?
A soda.
A soda. Just one thing.
That's it. Just a soda, or a fry, or a milkshake.
Ice cream thing.
Yeah, or one ice cream thing. I'm just
speaking of drive-throughs, my favorite thing I've ever heard is someone being like, if you want to use the drive-through so much, how about you drive through to the exit and fuck off?
Oh my god, yes, I need to use
I was like, I hope that boy stays employed by this company.
That's genius. That's
I'm
genius.
Sure he was fired, but I can hope.
One can hope. One can only hope.
My friend as well, when he was talking about that, it was so funny. When he was like if a bad bitch came up to me and was like, "You got my order wrong," I'd be getting her order wrong again.
Bro.
Just to get yelled at.
Just to get yelled at. It's all for the yelling.
That's so funny.
So stupid, but funny. That's why I always love hearing about like work-related stories of something funny or like a customer complaining over something stupid.
Yeah.
It's always funny to hear it.
Bro was like, if you're ugly on the outside and on the inside, bitch, pick a struggle.
Oh my god.
It's so funny.
That reminds me of when I worked at a Subway, and I worked at a Subway inside of a college campus. And the amount of people, there's two types of people that I would see. And most of them are students, and they are either high or hella tired from doing all-nighters. Or the professor / teacher themselves,
who are also high or tired from doing an all-nighter.
Yes, exactly. So I remember this one time. So at a Subway, you make your own sandwich, or I make it for you. You just tell me what you want on it.
Yeah.
So this dude, first order, all right, all he wants is an Italian BMT, which if you don't know what that is, that's my
Sammy.
It is. It's a good sandwich. If you don't know what an Italian BMT is, it's literally just pepperoni, salami, and ham, and whatever else you want on it.
What does the BMT stand for?
Bitch might try.
BMT is the oh god.
I don't know what it is.
I used to know the answer to that question.
I'm presuming Italian means the bread.
You can have it on whatever bread you want because it's Subway. That's like the first question they ask you. But I think they put it on the Italian normally. Sometimes put it on the honey oat.
Subway confuses the fuck out of me because it'll be named something. So I think I'm getting a certain sandwich. They're like, "What bread do you want it on?" I was like, "I thought it's this sandwich. It should be on this bread." And they're like, "Yeah, you can pick whatever bread you want." I was like, "Why the fuck's it called that then?"
Well, that's the thing about it.
I think with Subway people, it's just so common. Whereas, like, if you go to Quiznos, they're way more used to making it off the menu.
Who the fuck is coming up to buy a club sandwich and then doesn't want white bread?
Well, that's the thing.
I don't know who doesn't want it toasted.
I do.
I always want that shit toasted.
Actually, there are some sandwiches.
Alex, you don't like your bread toasted?
No.
There will be some sandwiches I don't have it toasted.
I was saying I know who doesn't like their stuff toasted or they don't like specific bread, and those motherfuckers are.
I think I only get the combination like that I like, and that is a toasted combination. So I understand the argument.
If my sandwich doesn't have sauce in it, I'm not getting it toasted.
That's the thing. Or like if they don't have like cheese on it, if they want melted cheese, then go ahead. I'll put it on the toaster.
I always have cheese on my sandwich. I have a cheese kit. Cheese is like a given. If I'm given a sandwich without cheese, I'm very, very upset.
So what you're saying is
surely there's sandwiches you're not gonna have cheese on.
Are they considered a sandwich? I mean, it's a grilled cheese is kind of or a grilled cheese. Like a peanut butter and jelly is kind of like a whole different animal. That feels like dessert, but it is a sandwich. So I don't want cheese on that. But like, I don't know if I eat a lot of other sandwiches that aren't like.
But what if you're getting sandwiched by two separate people in the bedroom? Would you want cheese then?
Salad sandwich.
Yeah.
Put cheese on that.
A little sneaky snack.
Wait, what's the other question?
Are you gonna get like a cold salad sandwich and then put cheese on that?
Like a chicken cold sandwich?
No
salad?
Chicken, no meat. It's just salad.
I would definitely put cheese on salad.
What the?
And I would put cheese on salad in a sandwich, but I would put it in a tortilla and call it a wrap.
That's
diabolical. Anyway, back to what I was saying about me working at Subway. So obviously I'm not employed by this company anymore, and I'll tell you why I'm not after this story. So it's a college campus. Almost everyone is either tired or high. There is no in between.
Or both.
Or both at the same time. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, so the first order is an Italian BMT. Simple, you know? Yeah, he didn't want to change the bread, but he did want to add lettuce, tomato, and guacamole. That's what he wanted on it. Yeah, that's what he wanted. That's all he wanted. I ring him out because I'm the only one at the front, so I finish a sandwich, get him any drinks or chips that he wants with it, and I cash him out, and he goes on his merry way. The person behind him, though, had the weirdest combination I have ever made. So he wanted an Italian BMT as well. But he wanted everything how the Italian BMT it has on it. The bread, the meats, and whatever veggies. All right, we get to the veggies, and then he says, "Oh yeah, can I have some cookies?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure, yeah, I got you."
Oh no.
I think I remember this story now.
Do you remember this story? So he asks for cookies, and I, make him some. And then I give him the cookies first because they're like already pre-made, like they're just made, so I'm already good. I give him the cookies, and he's like, "No, can you put it in my sandwich?" And I'm like, "Why?"
Why wouldn't he do it himself? Why make you do it?
Yo, listen, bro. I come to Subway for the experience. Put that shit on my sandwich.
But the thing is after that.
No shame. This guy should have more shame.
And then so after I put the cookies,
epic. He was like, "No, put it on my sandwich."
He's like, "You do it for me."
I want to see you cringe as you put the cookies on my sandwich.
I'm having legitimate muscle spasms from hearing this.
But that's not where the weird combination ends. He then asks for some Doritos to be put in his sandwich as well.
Okay.
Which I can understand putting chips in your sandwich. I've done it before.
With cookies?
But not with cookies. I'm just meaning in general, like putting chips in your sandwich in general.
Oh,
I can understand doing that because I'm pretty sure almost everyone has done that.
Oh yeah, I like chips in a sandwich.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He wanted me to put the chips in there, and then he also wanted me to put mayo in there as well, alongside his mustard and relish.
Oh,
That's fucking epic.
That is and the thing is we're supposed to close the sandwich, you know?
How do I vote for that guy for president?
The thing is we're supposed to close the sandwich, you know? We're supposed to.
Yeah.
I couldn't because of one reason. He wanted a mountain of lettuce in it as well. So I couldn't legitimately close it, and I told him that if I add any more lettuce that I won't be able to close the sandwich. He goes, "Oh, okay, that's fine." And then I finished his sandwich. I couldn't wrap it because I couldn't close it. So I did. I gave it to him, but then he asks for one more thing.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
He then asks, because the Subway place that I worked at also made pizza. He also wanted marinara sauce on the side.
No, he's gonna dip it.
He's gonna dip it. He's gonna dip it. He's gonna dip it.
And then, to be fair though, cookies and marinara sauce does kind of sound fire.
I wouldn't know. I've never had it.
Lettuce and mayonnaise and mustard and relish.
Don't knock it till you try it.
So I wouldn't know. I've never tried it. I might try it in the future, but not in his weird combination.
How do people hate on Subway, right? Because my brother in Christ, you make the fucking sandwich.
Yeah, you legit make the sandwich.
How I don't.
And if you don't like the ingredients,
I hate Subway. I hate it. It's like, bro, you are just literally telling someone else how to make a sandwich. Get a sandwich you like, then you moron.
Yeah, but that's not where it ends.
You don't like Subway. You're just saying you don't like yourself.
It's not where it ends for his. That's not where it ends for his sandwich. I finished cashing him out.
God.
He gets a soda, a Sprite. He got a large Sprite, and then as he goes to sit down, I see him pull out a little baggie of weed, and he puts it in his sandwich.
Oh my god!
Bro misunderstood edible.
Yes.
Well, no, it's not like a
it's
not. No, it's not the herb.
He's using it as a spice.
No. It's not the like actual herb. He's putting his edible gummy bears in it.
Oh no.
That's kind of fire.
That's even worse.
What?
Yeah, that's not better.
That's like a lot of quantity.
Yeah, it is. And you would think he would cut it up and eat it like that, get a fork and a knife or something. No, this motherfucker just Scooby-Doo's it. He shoves the entire thing in his mouth. And
I feel like you deserve a tip.
He did. He tipped me. He tipped me $50, but.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Thank God. Thank God.
Okay. Well, the thing is sure, it's a weird combination, but at Subway, there's so many weird combinations that can be made, and I'm surprised some people haven't made them. But
at least it wasn't the same old thing you normally do.
Yeah.
Have you seen the guy who keeps asking him to toast it more?
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
So fucking funny, bro. Because the dedication of the guy is like, can you toast that a little bit more, please? He's like, yeah, can you just toast that? And eventually it's black. The whole sandwich is black.
And they're like, are you sure?
And he's like, the Subway dude literally slams his fist on the desk. He's like, I can't toast this anymore. And he goes, it's all good, bro. That'll do. And
Dude,
he wraps the sandwich for him. He takes the sandwich. He sits down, unwraps it, and takes a bite out of it. And he's like, "This is delicious."
Oh my god!
The thing is literally black.
It is just ash. It is most likely just
disintegrates as he bites into it. It just turns into coal.
Oh my
god!
God!
Even dip it in ranch or anything.
That reminds me too, similar to what Zach said. A customer did ask me to toast their sandwich, but they didn't want the bread. They wanted it in a salad form, which is what we do sometimes. So he asks me to toast. He asks me to toast the sandwich, but before he asks me to toast their sandwich, or AKA their salad, yeah, before they tell me to do that, they first tell me to put some hot sauce on it.
Oh, no.
Any hot sauce that we have. And I'm like, okay. I put some hot sauce on, and we don't have like a bottle of it. It's like the little packets. So I put a little bit on it, thinking that's what he wants. And before I put it in, he goes, "Nah, a little bit more." And then I just keep going. Okay. I went through 67 hot sauce packets.
Oh my god.
To put on this thing, right. And then toast it. And before I could even toast it, he then asks me to put a little bit of mayo on it.
Just make it a little creamy.
Yeah, make it a little creamy, as if the fucking hot sauce wasn't enough. And
those packets of hot sauce are tiny though.
Yeah, exactly. And so the thing is we do have little salad bowls that we put the little salads in. I can't toast it in that thing, so I literally go and get a oven safe bowl thing that we use to toast some other things like the chicken. I go and get that, and when my boss asked me what I'm using it for, he follows me and he sees that I made this abomination of a salad, and he's like, "Why are you toasting it?" I'm like, I don't say anything because the customer just says, "Oh, because I want to toast it." And I toast it.
Why are you toasting his salad? Because this fucking legend asked for his salad.
Hot lettuce.
He wants hot lettuce. The soup is cold. The soup is cold and the salad is hot. How is that even possible? Anyway, so I toasted for him. I put it in not for too long. I put it in for like 30 seconds because I don't want this. I don't want this thing to somehow magically melt or magically explode. So I put it in for 30 seconds. I give it to him. He says, "Can you put it in there for me for 25 minutes?"
Ew.
And I'm like, "What?"
That's not toasting. That's like you want your salad cooking.
Exactly. And I go, I can't. And he goes, "Please, just for me." And I'm like, fuck it. I put it in for 25 minutes. And
there's no one behind him in line.
There wasn't actually. It was just those two. Anyway, I toasted in for 25 minutes. The only thing that remained, somehow, the only thing that remained was the hot sauce and mayo.
Ew.
The lettuce ceased to exist.
The lettuce and the meat ceased to exist.
It just like dissolved into the liquid.
Yep.
Of the hot sauce.
No. The hot sauce and the mayo were the only thing that remained. And
gross.
Why does it sound like the end of a fucking horror movie?
Because it is. Because you know what he does then? You know, the reason why. Do you know why I say that? Is because when I finish toasting it for him, he then asks me to put some lettuce in it. And I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna.
My lettuce has disappeared.
Can you please? I put in some lettuce for him, and then I finally cash him out so he can leave. And then he leaves. And then that's it.
Speaking of like fast food restaurants, the funniest thing a friend of mine's ever said was that when he was leaving a fast food restaurant bathroom, and this motherfucker literally just full volume, right? So everyone in this restaurant's not empty. It is full of people. And he exits this bathroom into the main area, and he just looks at me from a good 5 feet away. And he's like, "I don't know, bro, why they call it a restroom. Whoever named it that is fucking evil, because I was fighting for my life in there." I'm like, bro.
That is the best thing ever. My God.
Some biological warfare occurred.
It's the Rwandan genocide for bathrooms. I mean, the other thing that McDonald's is starting to do now, like put it in the rules for employees to do, is, well, at least for areas that have a lot of homeless, is they want us to that no one can use the bathroom unless they pay for something, and no water doesn't count.
That's so best. I love making it harder for homeless people to live exist.
Well, the reason why is because most of the homeless people that go in there are doing drugs. There was literally the other day, yesterday actually, I didn't go in because I wasn't feeling good. So I was told by my coworker Josh that somebody in both the men's and women's bathroom were just doing some heroin.
Yeah.
That's so best.
And they obviously got them out of there. Well, the police did, but they got him out of there, and
Called the police?
no, we have a station.
Nah,
No, we have a station security guard.
He called the police? What
No,
fucking
he calls for backup to get these junkies out of there because they just legit would not
They
leave.
just stay in there.
Yeah, that they
they'll
would
stay
not-
in there for hours. It's
Mhm.
worse in situations where a business only has one restroom and then like whatever. But I
No,
can imagine
I just put up a
in
sign.
McDonald's they're just
Be like,
staying in the stall.
Sorry, it's occupied. They're doing heroin in there. Just wait.
Well, the thing that sucks
The
about
thing is, they nod out for hours. So it's
Yeah,
like
well-
it's not like they do heroin and get out of the bathroom. They do heroin. The heroin hits them, and then they're sitting there, and they don't know how long time has passed.
yeah.
That's it. They don't need that time though. Doing heroin's hard.
It's doing hard.
It's
You're right.
great.
You're right.
So
You're right.
hard.
You're right.
Have you ever done heroin?
It's a hard drug for a reason.
You ever done heroin?
I have, yeah.
You would know then that it knocks you out. For a long
It does,
time.
yeah.
So, leave him in there. I'd get him a blanket. But like, hey guys,
Yeah,
pretty
I
cold in
don't
this
think
restroom.
that like I'm not in favor of like pushing out. I just know why it happens. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just the realism of the thing.
Why isn't
like
there just a heroin room?
that. There you go. I'm on board for that.
Okay, there you go. You hear that,
There
corporations?
should be a drug room. There should be a room.
It should
that
be
you
like
do
there's a
drugs in.
nursing room, there's a heroin room, there's a bathroom.
That'd be
You know,
The
fucking
thing
sick.
the thing that I found funny one time when I was actually cleaning the women's bathroom is, you know, in the women's bathroom there's a baby changing station.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Somebody took out, like, carved out the C, and now it says baby hanging station.
Nice.
And I'm just like, you're a real one. Because the amount of
Those
times.
things are handy for like setting a bunch of shit on.
Yeah, true. And the other thing too is, like, that's actually the number one thing people use it for when they're in there.
Oh yeah.
They don't use
Even when
it.
you have kids, that's the first thing you do because like you don't always need like to change the kids. Sometimes you just need to put down like all the bullshit that you have to have with the kids.
Yeah, exactly. And there. So, the bathrooms at the McDonald's I work at, there is literally only one stall for the men's room and two stalls for the women's.
Best.
It's a very small McDonald's. That's why.
Store.
But yeah, it's a very
Yeah.
it's a
Not
very
bad.
small store, so
Not bad.
they couldn't really put that too many. But anyway,
Yeah.
I love this. I love this so much. I was gonna go use the bathroom. All right.
Mhm.
Because I was on my lunch and I'm like, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'll be right back. I let my boss know just in case, like, if I'm in there past my break,
Yeah.
they at least know where I am, so they don't have to worry. So I go to the bathroom. There is legit a line for the women's. Meanwhile, the men's room, there is no line.
Sounds about
Dude,
right.
I
There-
use that shit.
Yeah, I know.
I
And-
will walk
I-
past a line of women in almost any facility straight into an empty men's room, nod my head at the guys, and use their potty and leave.
I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing too, because one of my coworkers actually did that. She saw the
I
line.
do it all the time.
She
I don't-
she saw the line and immediately just looked
Yeah.
at a guy
that's what I
coming out of
do.
the bathroom and was just like, And the man was like, I understand.
No, yeah, that's the only thing I've ever been told when doing that, and or been told you're smart or something like that, or like good on you.
I need the bathroom. I don't give a fuck what the shape of the character is on the outside of that door, right?
Exactly.
I'm going in.
If it's freaking Q*bert or if it's a fucking square, I'm going in it.
I don't know what these symbols mean.
The sign can't stop me because I can't read.
I don't know what I don't know what a triangle with a circle on top has to do with anything, but I'm going inside this bathroom.
I heard there was a shitter in here.
I heard there was a shitter. I'm gonna use it.
Without urinals, which sounds pretty fucking sick. So
dude, it's even better if you go to the Nordstroms that are in like the big cities. They have like a whole other room before the bathroom that's just couches.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, that's where restroom comes from. Because like some ladies' fancy runs, they actually have that. There's like a whole chill space, like a waiting room.
It's a room to rest, bro.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
Who would have thunk it?
They exist. They just only give them to rich ladies at the Nordstrom.
Need me a rich lady just so I can use their restroom.
Mm-hmm.
That's also the thing that I hated when I worked at a
ladies with restrooms?
No. I hated this when I worked at a Safeway or a supermarket, if you will. I was restocking some of the beers and seltzer waters, and this woman, obviously she is high class, quote unquote, because she is wearing a bunch of things that are worth millions and not even thousands.
Right. You can see the trappings of wealth.
Yes, I can see the wealth, and the need to steal this woman's fucking wallet is immeasurable. But I digress. Anyway, so she comes up to me because I'm restocking some stuff. She's asking if we have a specific beer for her husband, and she tells me the name of this beer. I don't remember the name of it anymore, but like she tells me the name of it, and I'm like, I've never heard of this fucking beer in my life. I don't think we have that here. And then she goes, hold on, let me speak to your manager. And then the manager says the exact same thing I said. And then she eventually huffs and puffs and leaves. But not without knocking over our wine display.
Oh, damn.
She was so peeved about it.
So pissed.
Yeah, she was. This is an outrage. Like, bro.
If you're so rich and out of touch that you don't understand regional beers exist, that's a special kind of out of touch.
Like, or just like
you can't get Yingling everywhere.
Yeah, you can't get that one specific beer your husband always gets everywhere. Like,
yeah.
And I guarantee you, your husband probably drinks Bud Light or Modelo. I'm guaranteeing you that's what you were asking for, but you said it in a very posh way. Posh way. Indubitably. Like, I'm all for, like, I'm pretty sure, like, sometimes when you buy something, like, expensive, you're like, man, I feel wealthy within that 1.5 seconds. But in reality, when rich people buy that thing, like, on demand, like, let's say, like, 27 gaming PCs or something within, like, one day, someone who doesn't have that much money can only afford the one, or not even afford the one. They just get, like, a small Walmart brand laptop that doesn't really do much. And, like, it's a sad thing about when some privileged peeps come into, like, either a general supermarket that's, like, well known in that small town, or a fucking McDonald's, for instance.
Yeah.
At that moment, if you aren't down to wait for something or want something more high quality, go somewhere else. There's other stores that yeah, there are other stores that probably sell the thing you're looking for.
On your timeline.
Yes, please. on your timeline. Like there is this one lady that ordered 50 cheeseburgers in our drive-thru. And
oh god.
And she was getting angry.
Don't you want to call in an order like that, or at least walk it
yeah,
in?
Yeah, all for her probably. It was all for her probably, dude. But anyway,
did you have to ask her to pull around, or
no? Because she was the only one in the drive-thru, so we didn't really care. The only time that we saw a problem with it is when she left the drive-thru, came inside, and asked for her cheeseburgers that weren't even done yet. We didn't even make it to the fucking halfway mark of her cheeseburgers, and she said,
you're just like,
She legit said this word for word. I've been waiting in the drive-thru for 15 minutes for my 50 cheeseburgers. And I'm just like, okay, one, it's 50 cheeseburgers, so you could shut your fucking mouth. Secondly, if you want your cheeseburgers now, we can give you the bare minimum that we've already created.
But I cannot make cheeseburgers out of no cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
The physics don't allow for that.
Yeah, the physics engine doesn't allow me.
Yeah, it just doesn't spit them out. That's
what
I wonder.
Isn't just like Spawn hamburger.
No.
Dude, watching Star Trek too much. Like, I don't have one of those replicator things.
And alcohol. I remember hearing someone being like, the two most American things are Budweiser and hamburger, and I was like, who's gonna tell him that both of those are German things?
Yeah.
Who's gonna let him know?
Yeah, let him know.
They're German.
I don't think anything here in America is strictly American, minus the rednecks.
To be fair, being German is very American.
Being German is very American.
Being American, very German.
I guarantee you.
Two probably.
I guarantee you, if you go down in the South a bit more in the U.S., there will literally be people that are
the French.
No, you don't find the French.
You do.
Well, yeah, you do, but
smack dab in the middle of the southern.
Yeah, you do. You got me there.
Exceptionally high French population in the southern part of the USA.
Yeah, you got me there.
Only in one state, though.
Yeah, weirdly, yeah.
Only in one state.
Only in one state.
That's really Louisiana specifically.
Yeah. And the thing that's weird about it is that, like, when you go down even more in the South, anywhere else, like let's say Missouri, you will find people there. Like, I went to Missouri once, and all I saw was just barbecue galore.
I feel like Missouri is more Midwest in my brain than Deep South.
Well, yeah, true, but like the way people, like I've talked to several people there that aren't my friends, just random passerbyers, and every time I talk to them, they're like, "Yeah, living down in the South." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, cool, thank you." Anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely Missouri's vibe. They think they're in the South, and it is like a very like backwoodsy vibe.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But in my brain, they're like up there with Nebraska and shit, and Ohio and stuff like that. And I'm like, I think of the South as more like everything south of the Mason-Dixon line. If you drew like a line a little further across the country than where the Mason-Dixon is, and the Mason-Dixon line is like right above Virginia. So like, I think of the South kind of as stuff below that.
Was said way too many times.
Mason-Dixon line is where the North and South decided this is the North, this is the South back in our Civil War.
Who is Mason?
I don't know, but he's a Dixon.
Mason-Dixon would have been a primary leader for the South in the era of the Confederacy.
His name's Mason-Dixon?
I believe so, yeah. I'd have to look up if it's two people's names combined or one guy, but I think it's one guy.
That's crazy.
I love... the thing about it is... While you guys were talking about the South, I immediately thought...
It is named for two guys, and it's named after the two guys who surveyed the line.
Who's Mason?
Mason and Dixon were the two guys who were the surveyors who went out and established the borders on behalf of the South. They were having a big dispute.
I need to know specifically who Mason is, though. I need to know about him.
Oh, no.
No. Oh, no.
We've reached the U.S. history portion of the podcast.
I know. We've got one Charles Mason was an English American astronomer who made significant contributions to 18th century science and American history, particularly through his survey, which won Jeremiah Dixon of the Mason-Dixon line, which came to mark the border between Maryland and Pennsylvania.
I was just about to say, someone called Mason, he's definitely a nerd.
He's definitely a nerd.
I was right.
Yeah, astronomer.
I also love this. While you guys were talking about, like, while we were talking about the South for a bit, I immediately thought of America. Why is this one called Kansas and this one not called Kansas? America explain.
There's Arkansas.
What do you mean
there's
Arkansas?
Kansas and there's Arkansas.
What do you mean this is Arkansas?
Right, I have a question. Right? Why is there a city called Kansas City in Arkansas and Montana, but not one in Kansas? Explain that.
There is one in Kansas. So Kansas City crosses the border between Missouri and Kansas City. It's actually one of those cities that exists on like a river. So you have half the city in one state and half the city in the other state and some bridges to go across if you're in the city.
So it's actually in Kansas?
Yeah, so it's in Kansas City and in Kansas City is in both Missouri and in Kansas. It crosses the border. It exists on both sides of the state. So there's some people who like live in one, work in the other, and stuff like that. And I think more of the city, like more of the bigger part of the main city is on the Missouri side, just because how it worked out over time, I think. So I think that's why people associate it more with the Missouri side. Because I don't think there's as much of it on the Kansas side.
But why is the majority of it not in Kansas?
I think it's just one of those things that happened.
Budget cuts, man. Budget cuts.
The people who did business on the Missouri side did it better and made their part of the city better. I don't know. I don't live in that city, so I don't know much about their.
I would have just accepted the term budget cuts for the answer.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Anyway. So we don't get delved too much into American history, aka the most idiotic history I've ever heard. We'll close off the stream because we're about to hit the 2-hour mark. We'll keep it at like an hour for podcasts, I think, from now on. Roughly an hour, sometimes even stretching it into 2. But anyway, any closing stuff you guys would like to mention before I end stream?
Go support a human artist that you like their art.
Yes. Yeah, do that. No way, I got
on the AI.
No way, I got it. I got it. Go support Zach, the law artist. Go support Zach, artist in law.
Theft, don't use bank accounts, hoard your wealth, and then eventually burn it all. There you go. Those are my 3 pieces of advice.
Yeah.
The first one wasn't a piece of advice. It was just a statement, but.
But anyway, for Ayla at least, where can they find you if they want to see
me? Here on Twitch, it's at Ayla Blue Space Elf, and everywhere else, it's just at Blue Space Elf. This is the only platform where I have the different
thing,
the different moniker.
Well,
find them in jail.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
I actually own the other one. It's my bot. I'm scared to switch it because I'm afraid of like it taking it away from me and like I won't have it then.
Don't take it away from me.
Don't take it away. It's my son.
I figure if I ever make partner, then they'll give me enough attention to switch it for me.
Probably. Anyway.
That's the goal.
Yeah. Anyway, feel free to check out Ayla's art. They make fabulous art of stick figures and random things they find on the street.
Totally, with little metal scraps.
Yeah.
Anything
like,
shiny, I find.
Like, you guys missed it. They drew the coolest stick they found on the ground.
Nice.
Yeah, right? But anyway, feel free to...
censored on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely does. But feel free to check out Ayla on the Twitch and Twitters. On the Twitterus.
I've got a YouTube, but nothing there but cringe. And
feel free to check out wherever you could find Ayla. Tune in probably either not this Sunday, but the one after. If you guys want to continue listening to this idiocity known as a podcast.
Yay!
And Ayla, if you ever want to eventually in the near future, if you want to join again, always let me know.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Anyway, everyone say goodbye, except for you, Zach.
Bye!
Bye.